Hey friends, welcome back. Blair Mountain was once quiet, a place where deer moved through the brush and the wind whispered through the pines. A place where families picnicked, where boys hunted squirrels, where the land felt like it belonged to the people. But in August of 1921, that mountain turned deadly. Tonight we walk with 10,000 miners into Logan County. We climb the ridge where Appalachia made its loudest stand, and we remember how a peaceful mountain became a battlefield. This is Coalfield Wars. I'm John Hart, and this is the Battle of Blair Mountain. They came from ever holla, men who had buried friends in the mines, men who had watched Sid Fatfield die on courthouse steps, men who were tired of being treated like property. They gathered in Marmet, 10,000 strong, red bandanas around their necks, rifles slung over shoulders, lunch pails rattling with biscuits and bullets. One miner said, "We ain't marching for money, we're marching for dignity." They called themselves the Redneck Army, and they started walking toward Logan County. The march stretched for miles, through towns, over rivers, into the hills. They were headed for Blair Mountain, a ridge that stood between them and the men who had jailed Union miners. Sheriff Don Chafin had dug in, 3,000 men, deputies, strikebreakers, company thugs, armed to the teeth. The coal companies paid for it all, guns, ammo, even airplanes. The first shots rang out like thunder. Chafin's men fired from the high ground, machine guns rattling like angry hornets. The miners scrambled for cover, behind rocks, behind trees, behind the memory of Sid Hatfield. A miner shouted, "Hold the line! Don't let them push us back!" For days the mountain shook. Gunfire, smoke, shouts carried on the wind. The land that once fed families was now soaked in blood. The coal companies hired private planes. They dropped homemade bombs on American citizens. It was the first time in U.S. history that industry bombed its own people. The miners fought back with hunting rifles and war pistols. They moved like ghosts through the brush. They held the line. But the mountain paid the price. After nearly a week of battle, the federal government stepped in. The U.S. Army arrived, uniforms, machine guns, even biplanes circling overhead. The miners faced a choice: fight their own country or lay down their arms. They chose peace. We didn't come to fight America, we came to be heard. One by one, rifles were placed on the ground. The march ended, but the movement didn't. Blair Mountain was never meant to be a battlefield. It was a place of beauty, of peace, of Appalachian pride. But the coal companies turned it into a war zone. They saw the land as profit. They saw the miners as obstacles, and they showed no regard for the lives they shattered. But the mountain remembers, the trees remember, and so do we. This is Coalfield Wars, and this was the Battle of Blair Mountain. If this story stirred something in you, I'd be grateful if you'd like, share, and follow. These Appalachian stories matter, and Blair Mountain deserves to be remembered. This is John Hart, the Heart of Appalachia. God bless you, and I'll see you on down the road.